Okay, net activity 3 now is going to be our toughest challenge right now, because what we have is we have an 8-sided shape with 8 equal triangles attached to it. And so it's an octagonal pyramid. And so if you think about in terms of what this would look like as a 3D object, each of these triangles would be stood right up on end, and they would come to the middle so that they're all meeting, all right, and form a pyramid. But unlike my triangular prisms, I can't just use my push-pull tool to get an 8-sided object. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my select tool right now, and I'm just going to click on the octagon in the middle. All right, and I'm going to grab my move tool, and I'm going to mouse over here. Just hold my mouse over, and if I hold my control key down at the same time I click with my mouse, I'm holding my control key down and I'm clicking. I'm just going to pull this over on the red axis. Try to make sure that I'm following. I will wait till my line is red. Just a minute. There it is. As long as it's on the red axis, I've just moved it sideways. Alright? And then I'll just let go. And what that does by holding the control key down is it actually it just makes a copy of this object, and it just duplicates it. Alright? Now, here's the tricky part. What I want to do is I'm just going to orbit around here. Alright? And I'm going to get fairly close to this. So I can zoom in here. I'll pan so that I can just have this more in the center of my screen. And what I need to do is I'm actually going to have to draw these triangles in. But I have to know the length of one side of the triangle. I know that it looks like the vertex right here bisects the midpoint of this line. So I have to find the midpoint of these lines, draw my triangle, but not only do I have to do that, but I have to actually connect the triangles right in the center of this shape. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center of this shape. Alright? And what I'm going to use for that is my tape measure tool. I'm just going to grab my tape measure, and I'm just going to sort of like just move my mouse without clicking on it over the face of this group. Alright? And what it's going to do is you notice that as I move it around, suddenly it jumps to the center, and you see this little sign that says center and group. Well, that's where I'm going to measure from, and I'm actually going to go up, and I'm just going to try to make sure my line stays blue, and I'm just going to go straight up. See if I can zoom out. Maybe use my pan tool. This isn't helping me very much, but okay, I might have to. I'm just going to, I think, pan. How do you get to my pan tool? I gotta, too far one way. Not giving myself enough vertical space. So I'm going to go to the bottom of the screen. Okay, grab my tape measure again. Just try it one more time. I'm going to go from the center, and I'm just going to go straight up on my blue axis as high as I can go for now. And what this is giving me is this is just giving my center line. Alright? So now I have this, I lost it. Try one more time. From center and group, I just want to go up, 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 up. 12.57 meters should be good. Now I'll click here, and that it gives me a dotted line, and that's what I'm looking for. All right, because now, just grab my selection tool here. I'll pan out and I'll orbit just to get a different perspective. This is where it's going to be tough. So what I'm going to do, where's my orbit tool? See, now I have a line from center, and I can just start drawing these triangular pieces here. So first thing I have to do is I have to measure this triangle. And I go, okay. So from end point here to this end point, how far is it? And it shows 7.32 meters. Okay, and it does that line there. I'm not going to worry about that line for now. I'll erase it after. So what I have to do here is I'm going to zoom in, orbit around. All of my triangles then in this prism are about 7.32 meters high. Alright? And if I just click out here once, that way I don't have that blue box around this, I'm going to grab my line tool and I'm going to draw my first line. And I'm going to start from endpoint in group. I'm going to find the middle. See if we can find the middle. That doesn't make any sense. To me, that looks to be about the middle. Or actually, no, I don't even have to worry about the middle. What I need to do is I need to draw this so that it's not jumping to my line right now. And that's my problem. I want it to jump to this line. And I want to get, it should show on the line, but it's not doing that. 7.38. I'm looking for 7.32. And yours should say on the line, because it should actually be on this line. Click there. And I'm just going to orbit around and take a look, make sure, is it attached to that line or did I go past it? No, see how it attaches itself to that imaginary line, which is exactly what I want. And I'm going to go back to my pencil tool, and I'm just going to go from this point, right? I'm going to draw down, and I'm going to go to this endpoint in group. And then I'll draw one line back here, and see how it fills it in. Perfect. Now all I have to do is I orbit around, and I grab my line tool. Once I have one triangle done, the rest are kind of easy. So now I'm going to go from endpoint here. I'm going to go right to this endpoint in group and close it off by going to this endpoint. Okay, and your job is to just keep going around until you have all the points on this spot filled. So you don't need to watch me do this. I'll finish the tutorial and then I'll finish doing this and then I'll come back at the end to show you the finished product. Okay, it's all filled in now. I'm going to take my eraser tool and erase these lines that we don't need. Over here too. And now when I orbit around, I have the net of my octagonal pyramid, and I have my octagonal pyramid itself, the 3D version of it. And when you orbit around, the beautiful thing about Google Sketchup is I can go under, over, I can orbit from any direction to just see what this looks like. Alright? And so when you get this net activity 3 done, then you can go into the tutorial that'll show you how to hand them